and something that I left behind. I leave this world.
Hey, Savvy Mom Elkie.
Leave no regret.
So today we're going to talk about legacy. This is one of my favorite songs by Beyonce. I lived, I loved, I was here. Hello. I'm not a singer, but I'm just going to say some of the lyrics to the words before we get started. More than I thought it would be. I wouldn't leave my mark so everyone will know I was here. Yes, I was here. Hello, hello. I want to say I leave this day until I died and know that I meant something in someone's life. Hearts I have touched will be proof that I leave, that I made a difference, and this world will see. Hey Dana, I was here. What is the world going to say about you when you're no longer here? I know for some people this message, hi Dana, seems a little grim. But guess what? One day all of us will depart this world. What will people say about us? What legacy will we leave for our children? I will leave my mark so everyone will know I was here. I lived, I loved, I was here. I lived everything that I wanted. It was more than I thought it would be. Okay. So, hello. So, if you're new to my scope, my name is Sterling Clinton Spellman, the Polisher, CEO of Polished. I teach women how to shine bright and lead in all areas of their life to inspire others, but most importantly, to inspire themselves. And this scope today is inspired by I call her my play godmother, but she was like a godmother to me and to my siblings. And she was 89 years old, about to turn 90, and she passed away. And I went to her funeral today. So during the funeral, I was just thinking about her life and thinking about my life and why I do what I do and why I'm inspired to do the things I do. And so I took a few notes and I wanted to share with you a little bit about legacy and why we all have a purpose on this earth and that we have to strive to leave a legacy that is worth leaving. So let me put it this way. We all are going to leave a legacy. And it may be a good one. It may be a bad one. It may be a mediocre one. But we are going to leave a legacy. And that means we're going to leave something behind on this earth where we pass away. But you need to make sure, and the reason why you're on this scope, and the reason why someone's sharing this to you, is because you are a purposeful person, and you know you want to leave a great legacy for your family members, for the world. You want to make a dent, leave a mark on this world. And do you want it to look like a blemish, or do you want it to look like a beauty mark? Okay? So, my godmother, her name was Mamie Catlin. She started a ministry back in 1985 with no money, but with passion and purpose in her heart to serve the homeless by feeding them and clothing them. And so she started in 1985. So that was when I was just about a year old. And I remember every Sunday we would go to another church that my parents were a part of, and then we would go to her church, and we'll be there till almost like 9 o'clock at night. And some of the things we would be doing was feeding the homeless, making sure they had clothes, so she used to get a lot of donations. She would drive around with my mother and other people and make sure that they picked up clothes from universities that people gave away, picked up food, and go and serve hot dinner and lunches to people who were shut in. And this woman did this when she was, up until she was like in her 70s, early 80s. She served the community. Her funeral was so beautiful because all people talked about how she made a difference in their life. How no matter if they were black, white, Russian, Spanish, whatever, if they spoke English, if they didn't speak English, she served them. So now she's passed on and she's left this amazing nonprofit where people all over the world and country will continue to benefit from her legacy. So my question to you is, what legacy are you going to leave for the world, for your family members? So the pastor said today, do you realize that we all have a clock, and every day that clock is ticking? And he went tick, tock, tick, tock. Your time is running out. What are you doing with your time? Who are you serving? Who are you benefiting? What impact are you leaving on people's lives? And then he said something that really struck me. He said, and I'm looking at notes here, so excuse me if I look away from the camera. He said, we shouldn't forget that little is much. I'm going to go, sorry, you guys can probably hear the baby crying in the background, so I'm going to go get her. So he said, you must not forget that little is much. Hi, Pumpkin, don't cry. You're going to be on the scope with Mama, okay? Hold on 1 second. Baby calls. Okay. So he said we must not forget that little turns into much. So many of us are thinking, what can I really do? I don't have a lot of money. I can't really impact the world. I don't have this and that. And we think we can't make an impact in... Okay, here we go. Get it back. Okay. Let me know if you can see me. Say hi, Auntie. So many people think they need to be millionaires before they can leave an impact on this world. But sometimes, and most of the times, because we all need money to do things, but most of the times your time is more valuable than any dollar you could give to someone. So in the case of my godmother, Mamie Catlin, she didn't have money. She didn't even have space initially. But you know what? She used her home and she used her time. She took time out of her schedule each and every day to make sure she was out there looking for donations, looking for people who could service the community. Okay? And that was something little that turned into something big. So you're thinking, oh, you know what? I don't have money to donate. I don't have this, but your time. Mentor a student. Mentor people in church. There's so many different things that you can do that can impact someone's life. Smile at someone in the grocery store. You can change someone's life because you don't know if that person is getting ready to go and commit suicide because of whatever is going on in their life. But you smiled at them. And they recognize that, you know what, I'm not invisible. People notice me and recognize me. And that can turn into something bigger. But I know many people on this scope today either are interested in growing a business, a nonprofit, or simply just living a better life. So I say to you today, not to scare you or anything, but your clock is ticking. What are you going to do with the time you have left to leave a dent in this world, to make a difference in this world? One of the things I love to do, yeah, baby, what are you going to do? Right? One of the things I love to do is to work with children. And what I do is I make sure I give them encouraging words. because I know many of them don't have it. Yes, Dana. Hey. One of the things I do, I give them all the time. I listen to them first. And I've heard, and I never knew this was something that could be a service, right? Many of my students tell me the reason why they love me is because I listen to them, and many times their parents don't listen to them. Even grown-ups, other women, the women I work with, they say, well, Sterling, the reason why we love you is because you listen and you're able to tell us great things about us by listening to our concerns and our cares and also some of our happy times. You listen to us. So maybe you feel like you don't have much to give, but you could be a listening ear for someone. But all of us have talents that we are meant to share with the world. So when you think about what legacy you're going to leave, I want you to think about what is it that you can do to benefit the world. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about my greater vision. So my greater vision, when it's all said and done, I want to be able to have a institute where we will teach young African American, I should say black because I want it to be in the diaspora, okay, of Africa. So young black men and women to learn about financial wellness, to learn about academic wellness, for them to learn about health and wellness, for them to be well-rounded people, because I know for the longest time we have not been taught those things as a people. Okay, it's just been about 60 years that we really had the right to vote, to simply exist without parameters around us. So my life goal is to make sure I create an institute, a school, an academy that is going to service those very things and about cultural wellness for them to learn about themselves, to learn about the kings and queens that they're descendants of, because that's not taught in school to our young. And this is not to exclude anyone, but this is simply what I've experienced as a student and as an educator, that is just simply not out there for our young black boys and girls to learn about themselves and to learn about money and different things like that. So I want to create that. That's something I know that's missing. So I want to create that. That's the legacy I want to leave. I want for my daughter and her kids and grandkids to say, our mother and our great-grandmother made a difference in the world because she cared about what she was going to leave behind. She cared that we learned about our culture. She cared that we learned about our health and eating the right things. She cared that we had generational wealth. She cared that we mattered in the world. So that's the legacy I want to leave. And a host of other things. When you really get to know me, you know there's a lot of amazing things I want to do. But I want to make sure that my time on this earth matters, and I can make a difference in someone else's life by just speaking over their life, speaking inspiration into their life, reminding them that they are made of greatness, reminding them that they can leave an impact on this world. So my question to you is, are you going to leave a blemish, or are you going to leave a beauty mark on this world? Because we all exist and we all are going to leave a legacy. But is it going to be a blemish, or is it going to be a beauty mark? So I want that question to sit on your heart today. I want you to think about your legacy and the purpose and the vision God has put into your heart. Yes, beauty mark. I want you to think about what it is that you will be remembered for. What are you going to do with that dash in between your name? And you probably heard this before. That dash in between the time that you live. You know, on a tombstone it says from 1965 to whatever the person passed away. And in between that dash, what do you want to have accomplished? Because we all know there's something bigger that we will put here on this earth than what we are just doing today. That we are meant to leave a mark. Turning my blemish into a beauty mark every single day. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, if this message resonates with you and you think someone else can benefit from this message of leaving a legacy, please share the scope. Again, my name is Sterling Clinton Spellman, the Polisher, CEO of Polished, where I teach women to shine bright and lead in all areas of their life, to inspire others, but most importantly to inspire themselves. And this is baby Hassana. Look, Hassana. Hassana. Say hi. Say I miss my mama all day. So love you all. Enjoy the rest of your day. Make sure you share the scope.